starting to record. It is policy committee. It's 5:30. All right, so we have the elections draft policy. Okay. So did administration not weigh in on this one?
No.
Okay.
Just cause there's nothing really in it, cause it's all statutory stuff, so.
Alright, so elections conducted, and so you understand the format is, usually I read through the policies that we're gonna be, reviewing to make sure, to see where it's at. And Sierra has graciously gone through the policies and kinda linked the statutes and things in that apply to them. Otherwise we do pull up statutes and IDAPA rules just to see what's changed or if we're still in alignment. Okay. Elections conducted on behalf of the board of the district are nonpartisan elections governed by the election laws of the state of Idaho and include the election board, the election of board members, various public policy propositions, and advisory questions. Okay. Okay. So this is all highlighted because it aligns with statute, is that correct?
Mhm.
Okay.
The only thing that absolutely has to be changed, because it no longer aligns with law, is highlighted in red.
Okay. Alright, so board trustee election shall be held on the first Tuesday following the first Monday in November in odd numbered years. Any person legally qualified to hold the position of school trustee shall file a declaration of candidacy with the clerk's office of the county or counties in which their zone lies. The declaration must include the name of the candidate, the term for which declaration of candidacy is made, and have signatures of not less than 5 school district electors residing in the trustee zone of which the candidate seeks election. Such declaration must be filed with the clerk of the school district no later than 5 p.m. on the 10th Friday preceding the day of the election for the subject trustee position. Any person seeking to become a write-in candidate must file a declaration of intent with the clerk's office of the county or counties in which the zone lies. No write-in candidates for nonpartisan elective office shall be counted unless a declaration of intent has been filed indicating that the person desires the office and is legally qualified to assume the duties of the office. The declaration of intent shall be filed with the clerk of the political subdivision no later than 5 p.m. on the 9th Friday for the date of the election. Okay. So this. Alright, so we're just gonna check mark that. I'm gonna take this and unread it.
You got rid of it?
Oh, well that wasn't very smart of me, was it?
No later than the 9th Friday. Or 9th week. 9th week.
So there's a week's difference there.
Mhm. So this is where we got hung up last time, was the difference between the write-in versus the not, sorry, my brain is not functioning.
Okay. So this one?
Nope.
What?
The sentence that we just did. That was where we were hung up last time.
And include the signatures if not, okay, so it's 33.
So the requirement is the same, it's just that there's a week.
There's a week
for
difference,
for the
yeah.
write-in. You have a week,
For write-in versus,
34.
and after that it's.
Yeah.
So no write-in candidate for any nonpartisan elective office shall be counted unless a declaration of intent has been filed indicating that the person desires the office and is legally qualified to assume the duties of the office. The declaration of intent shall be filed with the clerk of the political subdivision no later than 5 p.m. on the 9th Friday before the date of the election. If the statutes governing the elections within a specific political subdivision provide that no election shall be held in the event that no more than one candidate has filed for an office, that statute shall be interpreted in such a manner as to allow for filing a declaration of intent for a write-in candidate until 5 p.m. on the 9th Friday before the election. However, if no candidate has filed within that time, no election shall be held for that political subdivision. Provisions of this section shall not apply. Okay, so if no candidate has filed within that time. Okay, whether
Just not gonna
it's
have an
either,
election.
yeah, well, it's saying if you are, if you're doing a write-in and you file, then they're not gonna hold the election, you just wrote yourself into that position. Because you're not running against anybody. Which has always been, whereas if there's nobody running against a candidate, they don't put it on the ballot. You've won the spot.
Right.
So that's what it's saying.
So you could write in at the last minute and get in by default, basically?
I
Is
believe
that what-
so. That's, I believe what it's saying.
Wowzers.
But you're questioning the 5 school district electors. That's part of the declaration. So I think.
no, that's not what I was talking about. I said where we got hung up last time, where we stopped because we were going back and forth between the write-in versus the unwrite-in, or the regular candidate, basically the terminology of it. Yeah, it just is the 9th. Yeah, so we're good.
And the rest of those.
Okay. If after expiration of the date for filing written nominations, it appears that only one qualified candidate has been nominated for a position, or if only one candidate has filed a write-in declaration of intent, no election shall be held for that position, and the board or the clerk, with the written permission of the board, shall declare such candidate elected as a trustee. The clerk shall immediately prepare and deliver to the person a certificate of election signed by the clerk, bearing the seal of the district. All other scheduled trustee elections will move forward under the regular procedures. In each trustee zone, the person receiving the greatest number of votes cast within a zone shall be declared by the Board of Trustees as the trustee elected for that zone. If any 2 or more persons have an equal number of votes in any trustee zone and a greater number than any other nominee in that zone, the Board of Trustees shall determine a winner by a toss of a coin. Okay. Very good. Yep. Okay. So those were the only 2 items that required changing, so. So then, this, I would go to the board.
Okay.
Well, I guess it needs to go to Rusty first and then to the board. Cause it shouldn't go out for parent survey because it's strictly by statute, the language is by statute. Okay, taking office. What were we working on last week?
didn't,
Oh, that's right. But the week before that, we were working on something. We stopped in the middle of it.
and didn't make it to that one.
Yeah.
It was the application for volunteering.
But that's going before the board, so we weren't in the middle of it, were we?
We
tackled
were
that,
and we weren't. We just had to fix that one thing, and then all I was gonna do was go in and reformat it so it was printable.
Okay.
You can see it now, it's all pretty.
Huh, okay. So taking office. At the time of nomination, election, or appointment, each trustee shall be a school district elector of the district and a resident of the trustee zone from which nominated and elected or appointed. Each trustee shall qualify for and assume office on the next January 1 following his or her election, or if appointed at the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees next following such appointment. I'm trying to think. Okay, we're good. Each trustee shall qualify, and I guess this is good information for you, Jeff. When we have the election for 3 zones, cause I was doing math in my head, you actually have to come in before the meeting to get sworn in so that we can hold the meeting because we don't have a quorum. So,
A quorum of 2 doesn't count.
no, that's not a quorum, that's just a conversation.
Got it.
Each trustee shall qualify for and assume office, okay, I think I just read that. At the first meeting after a trustee assumes office, an oath of office shall be administered to the trustee, whether elected, re-elected, or appointed. The oath may be administered by the clerk or by a trustee of the district. For trustees that are appointed, the oath shall be administered at a regular meeting of the board following such appointment. The oath may not be administered at a special meeting. The records of the district shall show such oath of office to have been taken and by whom the oath was administered, and shall be filed with the official records of the district. Okay, so I'm just checking something. Okay, so our first meeting is January 7th. Is that what you would have us at?
I'd have to check what the date is. And yeah, that's what I got.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so this can just loyalty oath form? What is that?
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
Is the 7th a special meeting or is it a?
It would be considered they're called special meetings, but technically they're all regular board meetings
Oh, okay,
because they
because it
think
says not at a special meeting.
I know, that's why I was checking, cause we don't have a regular meeting posted, but it would be cause we're supposed to do it the first meeting after the first,
Okay.
which will be that first Wednesday, and then we would decide if we're gonna continue on Wednesdays, if we're gonna choose a different meeting night, if we're going to, what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I told you I was confused by the special meeting optional, and then you had meetings on the special meeting night, but
Yeah.
not on the regular meeting night.
I hear you,
Yeah.
I hear you. Okay, before you have, by the law of the state of Idaho enters upon the duties of his office, he must take and subscribe to an oath to be known as the official oath, which is as follows. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of Idaho, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of, according to the best of my ability. Okay.
Is that form signed or is it oral oath?
It's an oral oath.
Okay, but I'm just wondering the form, term and term doesn't seem to.
I know, in the past, I know what has happened is we've raised our hands and we've.
That's what I assumed, right? Yeah,
It's
that's kinda-
administered by the
Okay, yeah.
superintendent, yeah.
But just the word form.
Every time I hear that, I think of Harry Potter. Do you
A little bit
solemnly
too-
swear with
Oh.
Marauder's mouth?
Okay. So that can come to the board. Go ahead.
It's just that one
Go ahead.
line there where it's, next following in the second paragraph.
Each trustee shall qualify for and assume office on the next January 1 following his or her election, or if appointed at the regular meeting.
So next following such appointment, that language just really bothers me, but I don't know how to fix it, because you do have to say it's the next.
It should,
At a regular
truthfully, it
meeting.
should be, each trustee shall qualify for and assume office at the first regularly scheduled meeting after January 1.
The next
Uh-huh.
following such appointment is really awkward.
Okay.
I don't like it.
So let's play with this. Why not? We have time.
First, yeah. It's not on, it's at. First regular meeting of the year, of the new year. Or, if appointed. New year following January 1. Or if appointed at the next regular meeting following such appointment.
I think this needs to go there too. And then, okay, so this was the other one.
I would make that a new sentence,
Okay, so,
rather than make that all one long sentence. Don't do or. just-
so we'll just have one sentence paragraphs.
Okay.
Oops. There. Okay.
At the next,
If appointed,
at the next, oh,
actually, how about
we'll
if we
assume,
say,
if appointed. Oh, there you go. Appointed trustee shall shall assume office at the next regular meeting.
An appointed trustee shall, there we go, double shall, it's super important. Shall qualify for and assume office at the next regular meeting of the Board of Trustees.
Following such appointment.
Okay. It could be. We'll just mirror the.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, just look at that.
Okay, thank you. The red is new language. We used to have a blue code, which was, language that we took from ISBA's policies. We're no longer affiliated with ISBA, so we don't get their, ISBA was the Idaho, or is the Idaho School Board Association, and it is a political action committee, based in Boise. And so unfortunately, a lot of their policies stemmed for the larger school districts down south, not the rural north, and they were, we had to change a lot, so, it just didn't mesh.
They were very verbose.
They had a lot of legalese in them too.
Mm.
At the first meeting after a trustee assumes office, an oath of office shall be administered to the trustee, whether elected. Why is that relevant? To the trustee. Okay. The oath may be administered by the clerk or by a trustee of the district. Well, somebody took that out before and it just got missed. For trustees that are appointed, the oath shall be administered at a regular meeting of the board following such appointment. Well, isn't that obvious? All right.
That's, yeah.
Because we're saying that right up here. The oath may not be administered at a special meeting. The records of the district shall show such oath of office to have been taken and by whom the oath was administered and shall be filed with the official records of the district. All right, so that can go to the board, or to Rusty and then to the board. All right.
2 pages?
What's that?
Was there, did that go to 2 pages?
Mhm.
I didn't see long enough to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something in here that's preventing it from,
I'll reformat it before it
Yeah.
goes to the boards.
Should get that all on 1 page.
yeah. All right, oath of office. All right, an oath of office is required to be administered to each school board trustee, whether elected, re-elected, or appointed. The trustee is required to take his, her oath within 10 days after the trustee has given notice of his, her. Just copy and paste, that would be most helpful. Election or appointment, or within 15 days from the commencement of,
Could just do there so it's not redundant, his or her.
term of office, before any school district trustee elected or appointed enters upon the duties of the board. His or her office. There's
She was, she there too.
Alright, so this just seems like it's a very wordy paragraph. An oath of office is required to be administered to each school trustee. Trustee is required to take his or her oath within 10 days after the trustee has given notice of his or her election appointment. Well, I think
But is that gonna necessarily fall within the January or the next following board meeting?
The next sentence covers that. Within
The
15 days of
15 days would
commencement.
cover it?
Commencement of his or her term of office, cause they start January 1st.
Well, right, but for an appointment, it's supposed to be the next
term of office before
board.
the school district trustee elected or appointed.
That might not be within 10 or 15
If
days.
in the duties of his or her office, he or she is supposed to make the following.
Which it can't be.
Sure. Could it be an emergency meeting?
I do solemnly
Just
swear.
be special.
Do that.
I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Idaho, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of trustee of Lake Joint School District 272 according to the best of my ability. Just add those out in there. Okay. So what were you saying, Mary, about the 15 days?
So the 10 days that they receive notice of their lecture or 10 or 15 days basically is what it's saying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not seeing why there's two different amounts there. But with an appointment, is that gonna necessarily fit what it says before of has to be the following board meeting?
Well,
Cause that could be a month's time.
well, true, unless we don't call out special okay.
You can't call it a special meeting.
The thing
It's
is
just
we're
do
not
that.
holding special meetings.
Yes, so.
All we do is hold regular meetings twice a month. But,
So I guess in that case then
the reality is, if they are elected by January 10th,
Yes.
they have to assume office.
exactly, and that totally fits.
Or between January 10th, they have to be in there no later than January 15th. They have to have done their thingamabob. So, the only thing that would maybe cause issue is if they were appointed.
That's what I'm saying.
Right, but that's in statute. So we would have to,
But if so if the board meetings are definitely within 2 weeks of each other, then that would be covered. Correct.
okay, so actually that 15 days, yes, I do hear you.
Okay.
It says, or 15 days from the commencement of his term of office when no such notice has been given. So, before the expiration of 15 days from the commencement of his term of office. So technically, if we're going to appoint a new trustee because someone has vacated a position, they're not taking office until that next board meeting. So then from that board meeting, 15 days out is when they have to get sworn in. Because they're not taking office until they're sworn in, which would be at the regular board meeting. So whether it's 14 days or 30 days, we're still within that, because the reality is they don't take office until the board meeting.
They're appointed, but they're not actually taking office until the next one.
Right,
Yes.
which
Okay.
they're appointed, like the board has interviewed, the board has made a decision, and then we offer them the appointment to
Yes, okay.
begin at the next board meeting. So we're all within the right scope. So if we have the board meeting and say they're sick, well, then we've got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But they should not be sick. That's all I'm saying.
We're all here.
They should just not be sick.
You are not allowed to be sick.
So that's how that works. Yeah.
Get sworn in, and then you can go.
That's right.
Okay, so the oath is required to be administered by the clerk or trustee. Additionally, did I read that part already?
Yeah.
Additionally, the records of the district are required to show, okay. The school district trustee holds office when they are appointed or from January 1 following their election in November until January 1 of the year in which the term that's not accurate, because we've run into this problem, which is this one. Following his election or appointed. Wouldn't. I'm listening. Surprising.
Okay. No, I'm just, it's a fine line of one out the door, one in.
Correct. but I believe, cause that's the problem we ran into one year when the three of us were reelected. Or, is that right? How long have you been here? No, it was when the two were elected. Because what happened, yeah, I got it. What was that? Like, it was 33 what? 33. No, 30.
Not 33.
It is Title 33, but it's not the right chapter.
501.
Thank you. Oopsies, where? Okay, commencing, a school district trustee shall be elected for a term of 4 years, beginning at noon on January 1 next succeeding his election. Okay, each trustee shall qualify for January 1.
So it's a temp,
It's like 11:59 to 12.
well, yes, but then you're not officially
Yeah.
on the board till you're sworn in.
Correct.
You're part
Well,
of it.
no, when
No.
you've taken office,
You've taken office, but you have.
but you don't get to act as a trustee until you're sworn
actually
in.
sworn in.
Right.
Okay.
So. When was that time thing?
They like that next following terminology.
They do. Didn't I just read it?
Who was their
Seven-
teacher?
12 o'clock.
Noon, it was up. There's something new.
Okay, so we have named January 1. Well, because it doesn't make any sense from 12 p.m. That's what we should do.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So all new trustees must take a note.
60 seconds, you're short of trustee.
This is true. Well. Doesn't technically state that in the statute, I shouldn't add language that's not there. Year in which the term of office expires. All new trustees which shall be administered at a regularly scheduled board meeting. Trustees shall fulfill the term of office unless he or she dies, resigns, refuses to serve, removes him or herself from the trustee zone of residence, is no longer a resident or school district elector of the district, fails to attend 4 consecutive regular meetings of the board without an acceptable excuse to the Board of Trustees, or is recalled and discharged from office.
So if we have a regular board meeting every 2 weeks, and that's 4 meetings in 2 months as opposed to 4 meetings in 4 months of regular meetings, since you or are the special regular meetings exempt from that?
Well, what was your question? I'm sorry.
It says 4 regular meetings, but you're saying that every meeting is a regular meeting here, even though we call them a special meeting.
Right.
So,
And that the reason that is because of this, the language in the law about what a special meeting is. A special meeting is called for something specific and held, you notice it up within 24 hours. Now we've been skirting that, calling them special meetings, but they're calendared, they're given a date, they're given times, etc. That constitutes a regular meeting. Those are the guidelines for a regular
okay.
meeting. So
So the 4 regular meetings is 2 months here, but statewide it's 4 months.
you have a regular meeting once a month.
But here you have 4, or you have 2 every month.
Right, so there would be 12 in a year, or in our special case, 24.
Yeah, okay.
And when I first was elected, we had 2 a month, and then a couple of the trustees were like, this is just overwhelming. So we went down to 1 a month, and then the agenda got enormously long. So, I mean, there were board meetings we didn't leave until midnight, 1 o'clock. It was a nightmare. It really was. So then we went back to 2 meetings a month this year, because the trustees were like, we can't function, which is true. And now what has happened towards what's going on right now is our special regular meeting isn't, I mean, there's like, we're here for a really brief time, like 20 minutes to a half an hour.
Okay.
Which technically, if we didn't have it calendared, it could be called at any point in time. But because we have it calendared, then we hold other meetings that we may need to hold for whatever reason. Usually it's a student hearing on those off weeks. So it's just, it can become a lot.
Mhm.
It's a lot more than I ever expected when I got on the board. I mean, initially I was like, whoa, this is a lot.
So even if it's a 20-minute meeting, it's still counted as a regular meeting on this that you were just reading. In the excuses, or the list of reasons for being removed is missing 4 regular meetings.
4 consecutive regular meetings.
So that's-
Yes. That would be 2 months of meetings,
Yeah.
based on how things are currently.
Uh,
But, I mean, the thing is it's all about communication, because like, Trustee Jones had a heart procedure, and so he was out, and we're like, take the time to recover, we would not expect you here.
The board accepted the excuse.
Absolutely. Now, if you're out
There's a game on.
going to the Bahamas every month or something, it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, I'm sorry. So,
I was just
yeah.
wondering about your definition of regular meeting being so flexible right now, that if that counts as a consecutive,
Well, and that is,
one of the consecutive. I don't mean to be picky.
no. Service trustee.
But
So it is in
month are
statute.
regular meetings, right?
Yeah,
Two
but-
a month, 2 a month are regular meetings.
They are because of our actions.
Mhm.
It wasn't anything intentional. It was, we just thought we would just go ahead and schedule our special meetings, but that's not how special meetings work. And so it was brought to our attention, did a little deeper dive, contacted legal counsel, and they're like, they're actually regular meetings because you've calendared them. You don't calendar special meetings. And so I'm sure as a board, I do know that we can, I'm gonna have to check with Megan again, but I believe she said we can call out that, we are holding out the first Wednesday of the month for special meetings should we desire to hold them, which I think would then require just oversight with, is the next meeting looking like it's gonna be a mile-long agenda, which this meeting Wednesday is quite long. So, it's just a juggling act, really.
Okay.
And then we do have to include language that states we reserve the right to cancel a meeting should we feel so compelled to do so. Because we did not include that, so technically we can't cancel the meetings, which is not good.
That's
So
going in.
that will be language in the motion,
Okay.
whomever chooses to make the motion.
Are both meetings, regular meetings, the public can come to those?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And we, as a board, decided, by statute, it clarifies that public comment is allowed at all regular meetings. So because of the bouncing, juggling around of special and regular, but they're technically all regular, is why we were like, no, every public input at every meeting.
Okay.
And I don't believe right now the board would ever censor or stop public input because we want to hear from the parents, regardless of, or the community, I should say. It's not just parents that come, there's a lot of community members.
And you want to answer issues before they grow into something too big anyways.
Absolutely.
Every 2 weeks is better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And before,
Sorry.
seriously, there was an abundant amount of work for the board to do that it's just like, it became exhausting. And fortunately, I think we've really turned a corner, and it's not like that anymore.
Thank you then.
So let me go ahead and, oopsies, where's my, oh,
What's wrong?
I tried some paper on the inside, it's not working. Just need to keep my hands off of it.
Okay.
Does the community know that regular meetings are public meetings for the most part?
They're public board meetings, and I have a little statement that I say, because we got into a little thing a while back, just that these are board meetings held in public, but they're not public board meetings. Meaning, the public doesn't come and conduct the meeting, the board does. It's the
Right.
board's meeting for business.
Okay.
And the public input is allowed so that we can hear from the public.
Sure.
And it's not a time for questions and answers with
Mhm.
the public. We can ask clarifying questions, but we can't sit there and have a conversation or carry on a dialogue with
Gotcha.
the participant in public input.
Oh my business.
All right, so this can go to, I guess, Rusty and then the board. Okay. So we did that one. Resignations. Resignation of a trustee for whatever reason must be submitted in writing to the clerk. The board shall accept the resignation at any duly convened regular or special meeting and proceed to fill the vacancy as provided by statute and board policy. Trustees retiring from the board may be recognized for their service to the district by presentation of a service plaque or other appropriate activities. Don't think anything needs to be changed on this one. Does anybody else? Alrighty, so that one can go. Vacancies. A vacancy shall be declared by the Board of Trustees within 30 days when any trustee shall die, resign, remove him or herself from the trustee zone of residence, no longer is a resident or school district elector of the district, refuses to serve as a trustee, without excuse acceptable to the board, fails to attend 4 consecutive. I think this should parallel that other policy. And I don't know what happened here, but that's just kind of silly. Okay, so that was on resignation. No, on vacancy.
No, it wasn't.
It's 11:20.
Key? Okay, thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
So take this one out. Oopsies, stop it. Okay. Oopsies. Okay, so. Shall be declared.
It's just number 6 that's.
When any
No, 5.
trustee, I don't think shall should be there. I think it should be when any trustee, dies.
You wanna just cut and paste that? Rather than change? Amanda?
There we go. Thank you. Bigger.
Still says the same thing on die.
No, it's the new, she's gonna.
This
Oh,
is
the
the
new
new
one's
one.
put
put
that-
Yeah, we're
I'm
gonna put
sorry.
that in red.
Okay, getting used to it.
Not a worry. Yeah, cause that should,
Yeah.
should be the same. It should. There shouldn't be any deviation in what we're doing here. Okay. A trustee position also shall be vacant when an elected candidate fails to qualify. A declaration of vacancy shall be made at any regular or special meeting of the board when any of the above mentioned conditions are determined to exist. Go ahead.
Isn't that statement covered up above? In the, refuses to serve, removes himself from the district or the zone, no longer a resident, isn't that when they fail to qualify?
How they would fail to qualify is if something came up in the election process, like they
Oh.
came in and then all of a sudden came out that they lied about something, like living in the zone or something like that.
Oh, okay, so that's different than is no longer, okay. Never was in the first place.
Never was.
Okay. Got it by forgotten games. Okay.
That's just looking. I just don't understand why we have this sentence and it just doesn't, I think we're, okay. In the case of a trustee vacancy, a remaining trustee shall fill the vacancy by appointment. The board will receive applications from any qualified person seeking to fill the position after suitable public notice. The board will consider all applications from qualified persons seeking to fill the position in open session. The board will appoint one candidate to serve for the balance of the unexpired term of office which was declared vacant. In the event the Board of Trustees is unable to appoint a trustee from the zone vacated after 90 days from the date the board declared the vacancy, the Board of Trustees may appoint a person at large from within the boundaries of the school district to serve as the trustee from the zone where the vacancy occurred. Otherwise, after 120 days of the declaration of vacancy, the county commissioners of the home county in which the joint school district is situated shall appoint a qualified person to fill such vacancies. Because I know that when, at any point in time, I mean, I've been at meetings where we've declared a position. I think it goes hand in hand. So whether they fail to qualify or whether they do one of the 7,
Mhm.
then, the board has to declare the vacancy.
Okay.
So basically, the board has 120 days before the county commissioners step in?
Yep.
What is it saying? It's quite a bit of time.
I like what the statute's saying, in the event a vacancy is declared.
Yeah. Hey. Just say a trustee vacancy. When
So-
when a vacancy is declared,
Oops.
not in the,
I forgot the event.
or you say that, okay.
That's what I said, and then I took the event out, cause I was gonna move it.
Okay, I thought you were
Didn't
gonna,
move
I thought
it.
you got rid of it.
No, I don't like in the case of.
No.
So, in the event a vacancy is declared, the remaining trustees shall fill the vacancy by appointment. Which aligns more with what the statute states, instead of, I don't know where those words came from. The board will, yeah. Applications from any qualified person seeking to fill a position, okay, the board will consider all applications from qualified persons seeking to fill the position. So the board will consider all application of qualified persons in open session. The board will appoint one candidate to serve for the balance of the unexpired term of office. Well, that's not there. No. I don't know why expired there. Or unexpired, I should say. Board will appoint one
Yeah,
candidate to
it's
serve
a
the balance
years.
of the term of office.
It's balance,
which was
balance of
declared.
the term
Yeah.
or the remaining, yeah.
In the event, yeah, the board of trustees is unable to appoint a trustee from the zone vacated. After 90 days from the date the board declared the vacancy, the board of trustees may appoint. It should be in the event. May appoint a person at large from within the boundaries of the school district to serve as the trustee from the zone where the vacancy occurred. Okay, so that's just saying that if nobody applies, then anybody can apply after 90 days, whether they live in the zone or not. That's the one time that someone in the zone, but then that's kind of disappointing because if that person served really well and they're not in that zone, they can't run at the election. They would have to, they would just have to wait until their own zone opened up if they wanted to come back on the
Still
board.
have to be in the district.
Correct, they do
Yeah,
have to
okay.
be in the district.
And elector, all the things that are up here.
Yes, they have to be eligible to vote in our district. So basically a resident of our area.
Resident specific to a zone.
Yes. Okay.
The turnout we get should be also like, and cares to vote. Cares enough to vote.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if it's an election year, presidential election, let me clarify. Okay, so this one can go, I guess, to Rusty and then to the board. Resignations, vacancies, student discipline. This is a meaty one.
So this one, go ahead and pull up the admin recommendations.
There's no highlight, I can't.
Okay, wait, 3:30, oh, okay, yeah. There was, the policies down below, the ones with,
Here, you can do whatever you need
hold
to.
on, I'm trying to think it out here. This one I think is the only one that he was really wanting to change. Was that? Oh no, no, I had him do it in here. So that we could. I don't know, my brain isn't working anymore. There was something that he wanted changed in this. That was a minor change, and then.
Well, here's the thing, we can just move on, and then
Mhm.
whenever that gets updated, we can come to it next Monday.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, I'll just pull it back up and ask him.
Yeah, that's fine. The uniform grievance. Respectfully, Megan was working on this, and then Megan dropped the ball. So-
Megan sent it back. So this, so on 4120 is, if you pull that one up, if you scroll down, in blue is going to be her suggestions. Now, on the admin recommendation, it has those incorporated into them.
Okay. It's not highlighted here for search and
He
seizure.
hasn't given me that one back yet.
Oh.
But if you go like to the breathalyzer form, that one has her suggestions in it. School suspension, the draft policy has her suggestions in it.
Okay. What's that?
No idea. I didn't create that form.
I am a little confused by this. I'm gonna have to go back into the recesses because I know, I can't remember the context on which the form was offered. The problem is that we were breathalyzing students and parents knew nothing about it. And so it was this whole thing came about because the board wanted to make sure the parents were aware that their students were brutalized. And it was, the way it came to be is apparently at a game in Sandpoint. No, I think it was a game here. It had to do something with a game between our school and Sandpoint, whether it was there or here, I don't recall. But I guess some students were pretty toasty, and it was a big to do. And so Sandpoint and Lakeland made an agreement without any sort of policy or anybody else being none the wiser, that they were going to be breathalyzing their students at significant events such as, what's the thing? I don't know, there's a big game. It's a rivalry game, not a game.
Battle for the paddle? Is that it still?
We do Sandpoint Battle for the Paddle.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember.
I haven't been one since it was Prairie Pig, so.
I know, it used to be Prairie Pig.
Is it suspicion or is it their actions?
It's not random audits, it's a suspicious.
Well, from what we've learned as this has progressed, because they've been doing it now for a few years, is that it's just basically at every main event that is significant, like
Because you
prom.
have guest students on there.
I know.
Because our policy, when they're on our school facilities, it's a slightly different situation.
Right. So, the breathalyzer consent form, cause I don't even know who drafted this.
That was Maria.
Okay, but, the breathalyzer parent consent form was that at the beginning of the year, parents need to be made aware that their children could be in a situation where they're gonna be breathalyzed, and are they gonna consent to that? So that was the intention of the consent form, was that parents were made aware that this could happen to their student, and are you in agreement with it?
And this is a requirement in order to go to these away games over here.
Well, and see, I don't know that we can
Yeah.
control other school districts, we can only control ours. And I think as a parent, if you're allowing your student to go over to somebody else's school district, they're gonna be subject to whatever rules
You
they
don't
have.
have, the buses from here that take the team or whatever don't take other students.
No, they're not
So,
supposed to,
okay.
at least not to my knowledge. That's a
Okay.
good question, needs to be asked. Which, I mean, we had an incident where our buses were actually taking other students that weren't our district students,
Oh.
and we didn't know that.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so we've worked that all out now.
Okay.
But yeah, I would hope that, I don't think we have an activities bus anymore. The activities bus might be a part where they could take students, guests, I guess, but I don't know. That'd be definitely a question to ask.
Is this
But-
consent form, like before the trip, before the travels, so the parents are aware of it in advance?
No, from what I recall, like I said, it's been a while, so I'm gonna have to do a deep dive on this one. But, the consent form is something at the beginning of the year, so that the parents are made aware, if your children are gonna participate in extracurricular activities, there is a strong possibility that they will be breathalyzed, and are you going to consent to that? Because parents didn't know, so, yeah,
Especially if the bus driver stops at the liquor store beforehand.
I would really hope that doesn't happen. But who knows?
This day and age.
Well, I think that actually, there was an accusation that happened, I can't remember where, I don't think it was our district, but, I think Coeur d'Alene, that the driver, it had pulled over to do something and there was a liquor store there. Nobody went into the liquor store, but the perception was really, really, really bad. It's like, I think I would have found a different spot. But, you know, it's gotta do what you gotta do.
Mm.
Well, okay, so there's nothing there and there's nothing there. Okay, well, can't do that. I don't know if there's anything on these forms except for this one.
That's the, and that one's just adding Rusty's name and taking out ones.
Well, I'd much rather have the policy done before modifying the
Yeah.
forms. So, uniform grievance. I'm just super cautious with this one because so our policy is the board's desire that administrative procedures for setting complaints, grievances, and concerns of any and all persons, meaning staff, students, patrons, be an orderly process within which solutions may be pursued. The procedure should provide prompt and equitable resolution at the lowest possible administrative level and assure an opportunity for orderly presentation and review of complaints without fear of reprisal. So, it is the board's desire that complaints and grievances from any and all persons. Why are they taking out concerns? Be resolved promptly, equitably, and at the lowest possible administrative level. This policy ensures an orderly process for presenting and reviewing complaints without fear of reprisal. Okay, so. Yeah, I'm not sure why, cause the first. Alright, well, I'm not gonna take away concerns, cause I think concerns is important. So, if, it is the board's desire that complaints, grievances, and concerns persons be an orderly process within which solutions may be pursued. It should be process. The process should provide prompt and equitable resolution at the lowest possible administrative level and assure an opportunity for orderly presentation and review of complaints without fear of reprisal. This policy ensures, well, there's no assurance in the policy. Okay, I need input on the one administrative recommendation. I just feel it's,
Would say and, say with an opportunity for orderly presentation.
which one are you looking at? The draft?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have draft and admin recommendation. I know, I
Which
know.
one, you're working on this one?
Uh-huh, I
Okay,
am.
I'm sorry. I
No,
was
no, no.
trying to- What's going on?
You said what was going on. I suppose if we wanna strike this, can? That's what they're recommending. I should say he's recommending. I don't know who's all waiting on this. What desire that complaints, grievances, and concerns from all persons be an orderly process within which solutions may be pursued. The process should provide prompt and equitable resolution at the lowest possible administrative level and an orderly opportunity for orderly presentation and review of complaints without fear of reprisal. Oh, sure, you're good. Do you have any thoughts on this?
I just kind of got my brain in spaghetti.
It's all good. We're not gonna get through this whole
It's
policy,
like
but
a
we'll
lot of
try.
semantics, right?
It is. Hence why it's like watching paint dry for some people.
Hmm? What's that?
I said, hence why it's like watching paint dry for some
Oh.
people.
Heard that before.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have anything to say. I mean, I can't, it's not my business. Right?
Well, I don't know, are you a taxpayer in this district?
I am.
Then it is.
Also, a business owner, in a way. Who did all the markings on the right? And
It says
another-
admin recommendation, this
Oh.
is coming from the superintendent. I'm not sure who's all weighing in on it, I think it was his intention for all administrators, so all principals, et cetera, but I don't know.
Each one got a different word.
Well, what is an orderly process? What's the definition? On the right-hand side.
This word?
Well, they changed it from procedure to something down below.
Oh.
They did. Well, they struck it out. They struck out procedure,
There's the procedure there, it's grievance.
yeah.
Uh,
So, if
Are these violations by who?
well, it's supposed to be that if you feel that you have a grievance for something someone's done or whatnot, this is the process for you to get resolution.
Who would be you?
Well, whether you're, so let's see, let's take this, as a taxpayer, if you feel that, at a board meeting, a trustee did something that you didn't appreciate or said something against you that was, you know, whatever, there's a process for you to resolve
Oh,
that
gotcha,
complaint.
okay. So
If you're
the general public is the you.
No, it's
Or-
also for employees. So
Oh,
if
okay.
a teacher feels that the building principal is being inappropriate or egregious towards her in some fashion, or him, then they have a process to follow to resolve that complaint.
So these complaints go to the board?
No, not all of them. There is the ideal is that, okay, if you're a parent and you have a frustration in your child's classroom, you first would go to the teacher. And then if you didn't like what the teacher said, then you would go to the building principal. You didn't like what the building principal said, then you'd go to the superintendent. If you didn't like what the superintendent said, then you would bring it forward to the board.
Gotcha.
So the desire would be that if you're a parent, you got an issue in the classroom, you and the teacher can work it out. But sometimes you can't. So then you're gonna go to the principal and say whatever the grievance is. And then the building principal should be stepping in to help resolve. But then if they don't, or they think that the teacher did everything fine, and you still don't think they did, then you would go another step up the ladder.
Gotcha.
If you shut them off, they're gonna get mad, or,
Right.
Yeah.
Most people want to be heard,
and they're
so.
gonna talk to everybody, every neighbor they can.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Basically following the chain of command so that you're not going straight to the board with something that should have been resolved at a
Gotcha.
lowest
So,
level possible.
Is there a list, the chain of command listed in here? So
It is-
way
it's way down.
Step one,
Oh,
Okay.
gotcha.
but they have, info, principal review, superintendent review.
This is hard to track, really.
Yeah, and there's a lot to it, board review.
Need a Venn diagram.
Yeah, and see, this language is stating that the only thing that would come before us is a violation of board policy. Why
And
did
something
they?
might go above that.
Well, and see, yeah, the thing with sexual harassment is that it then falls under Title IX, which has to be handled in a completely different, more, structured format. procedure should be followed if an individual believes that the board, its employees or agents have violated the rights as guaranteed by state or federal constitutions, state or federal statutes, or board policy. Okay. The grievance procedure applies to alleged violations of rights guaranteed by the state or federal constitutions, statutes, or board policy. Does not apply to personnel grievances or student discipline matters governed by separate procedures under Idaho Code and board policy. Additionally, this procedure does not supersede more specific complaint processes such as those for student discipline or sexual misconduct. Actually, I like that.
Why are all these changes suddenly coming down the pike now?
Well, in all fairness, the uniform grievance policy, 2 or 3 years ago, there was significant legislation that was attempting to go into effect. On top of the fact that at that time we were still, I believe we were still part of ISBA, and they were telling everyone to hold off on doing anything with your universal grievance policy because they were coming out with something. And with everything that was going on, and we were at that point determining whether we were going to walk away, we went to our attorney who said, hold off, because all this change is coming. Well, what happened was no change came, and our policy never got updated.
Oh.
And so it's been sitting in limbo. And I actually talked with the attorney at the start of year. I don't know, maybe start of the school year, I should clarify. Because I'm like, hey, could you please weigh in so that we can resolve this once and for all? And she admitted, oh, I forgot.
Oh.
So she just now got it back to us on this. And so all the stuff that you see on the left is stuff that we had already done way back when. And we sent it to her to have her review it.
Oh, gotcha.
So she sent us back recommendations, which are in blue at the bottom.
Oh, gotcha, okay.
So the admin recommendations takes everything that she had suggested and puts it in with their suggestions as well. So that one's just a big combination of her suggestions and admin, and then our changes.
So are you trying to
Frustrating.
correct both of them?
No,
or just the one on the right?
The struggle is there's no conversation.
Oh,
I have
gotcha.
no understanding why they recommended the changes that are being made. So now it's more of a, are we gonna change it to that or not, which makes it even more challenging.
So dealing
When
with
there's,
yeah,
because,
the attorney and then the other suggestions.
well, the attorney's suggestions are all down here, which it wouldn't be a problem to kind of review what she's said and kind of implement them. But the challenge is just,
Oh my gosh.
we have always, our procedures have always been, we take our policy, we create a draft, and we monkey around on the draft so that we're not messing up the original policy. And then with the new superintendent coming on board, he wanted to kind of change the way we do things, and so he's created these admin recommendations in not wanting to have people come to the meetings, et cetera. But the biggest disadvantage is there's no conversation. So not understanding their thought processes into why they chose this, what was the, you know, why?
There's no Federalist Papers to read.
Yeah, there's no answering of questions,
Yeah.
it's just
He
kind of
wanted
like,
to
I
get-
don't
Yeah, he wanted to get
understand.
more people involved that couldn't be here, so that they could get their voice in the matter.
Then they should be initially what they do. You should know who it is, so you go back to them and go, what do you mean?
Mhm.
That's a good suggestion.
Yeah, and the irony is, and I guess just because he had only come to a couple of meetings, again, this uniform grievance procedure, if it would have been put out that we are going over this room would have been packed
Oh.
with people providing input,
Ah.
because that's how it's always been.
Mhm.
Well, it was
When
put
it's
out,
things
though.
that's specific to, teachers or curriculum, or, I mean, sometimes even student dress will bring the masses in.
It was
So-
put out on the agenda though, that we could go over it, it just kinda
But
depends on.
don't you have to kind of resolve the admin recommendations before you bring it to the
Well,
public, or?
yeah, I don't know. I
How-
know.
how would the
But I
public
would
deal
think
with
the
two?
attorney would know more about it if you go down into the blue, get that established, and then
Then work backwards.
work it out from there. But they've already made recommendations on the right-hand side, so it's very convoluted.
I know.
When they were done in parallel,
I don't know.
without talking.
Yeah, well, like
know.
you said, that one contains all of Megan's suggestions in it, as well as the suggestions
Mm.
from other people, so
Oh,
that has all of that already in it.
Oh. You
So-
never know by looking at it.
No.
You
You
wouldn't.
wouldn't.
another screen.
Well, the cool thing is it's 7 o'clock, so we can be done. And we can, just,
Are you supposed to take the one on the left and take her suggestions and put in there, and then the one on the right? Did the one on the right, did they see Megan, is Megan the attorney?
Yes,
she's one of them.
Did they look at her, did they blow her off, or her suggestion?
no, they
Oh.
put her suggestions into it.
Oh, I
So
see.
all of her recommendations
Oh, on the right-hand side.
were put into the right-hand side.
Gotcha, okay.
On top of the additional recommendations,
Wow.
so, yeah.
That's,
So that at least gives you one person's identity on
mm-hmm.
some of the recommendations that are in the admin
Yeah.
for the changes. We can figure out from that. Jeez.
I don't know, level 2, level 3.
Well, it used to be principal.
What's that?
We're covering this summer.
I know.
It's back.
Well, it was never completed.
Yes, no.
So,
Guess I
yeah.
think we set it off to
We did.
Megan and.
We'll go ahead and